All right, here we are in a beautiful Lake Havasu City morning at Rotary Park, looking at a really neat period style hot rod, 1955 Chevy Nomad wagon. Very nice preserve style hot rod. We're going to walk around. I'm going to cover it with you like we usually do. Just a cool old car. It's not perfect. It's not brand new. It's got tons of character. This particular owner has owned it since 1987, so about 31 years. He purchased it after it had been freshly restored and shown and that kind of thing, and drove it for several years, drove it several hundred miles up to Prescott and around out of Havasu here, and enjoyed several car shows for quite a few years. And then he parked it about 15 years ago, and he brought it out, woke it up, went through the carburetors, got it running just right, and fuel tank's been cleaned and updated with a new fuel tank. But the body on this is a really nice body. History takes us back from what he knows. It was a Las Vegas or Nevada style car prior to the Arizona car. We've actually already had it up on a lift at our shop to cover the undercarriage for you, and if you hang on to the end of the video, we're going to cover that. The body's straight. It's got little chips and marks and nicks here and there from years of being in the garage and shown and that kind of thing, so you could pick it if you wanted to for things, you know, door edge chips. It's finished in like a root beer brown metallic. I'm not sure the type of paint that's on it. The roof is nice here. We're going to walk around like we always do and cover everything. It's got etched glass windows here. Again, period style hot rod. Early Resto-Mod is probably what I would call it. Still has factory wipers, factory motor underneath the hood here. It has pinstriping all over the car, including on the dash and around. You gotta love these eyebrows. I know these are really expensive and hard to find. These are Nomad only. The fit could be just a little bit better on the front here, but I don't think they were great to begin with. The chrome and bright work's nice on the car, so it was clearly probably redone when the car was restored that many years ago. It stayed in the garage, by the way. It hasn't been outside, dry climate here. Rock solid up on the lift. We'll cover that with you like I talked about. I like this big bumperette on the front. The front end's got, he's driven it, like I said. It's got bugs and chip marks on the front here, not bugs. These are chips now from over the years. So it's not perfect on the front there. The rest of the paint, actually this car is just presentable the way it is if you call it a period hot rod. You can enjoy this car just the way it is. It could be driven easily. Underneath the hood here is a 327 Chevy V8. We'll spend some more time underneath the hood with you here in just a minute. Dual quad, dual 4 barrels, Edelbrock Offie intake, turbo 350 automatic transmission, factory GM V8 rear differential. Try and give you some reflections here. I know it's a little bit dark right here on this side of the car. Western wheels, which again were 80s, mid 80s style wheels, and they're actually in very good shape. BF Goodrich radial TAs. They're like new, but they're aged and dated, so they're not that expensive if you want to put a new set of BF Goodrich TAs on it. I didn't check the date codes, but they're not brand new. You can see again the pinstriping I talked about is all over it here. The paint quality was good, professional at the time. It has some settling here and there. You could pick it, but again, I probably wouldn't change much on this car. I just dig it for what it is. You'll see where they ran the pinstriping down the door jamb here. The interior in it was brand new. When the owner purchased it, he had updated it because it had in 87 he had updated it to a new interior. It had shag carpet in it, that kind of thing, that type of restoration. So the interior doesn't have much wear. He hasn't driven a lot of miles. Still has factory dash trim other than the gauge cluster over there, Classic Instruments cluster. It has chocolate brown carpet, nice tan seats here. Give you an idea of the back seat. Top bows. See the courtesy light working there, are all there. Like I said, this car could be enjoyed just for what it is. Doors shut nice. It's got a good look and feel. Rear bumper, it's got the bumperettes on the upper bumperettes on the outers and the bumperettes in the center there. Got a Hobie surf sticker in the back. Again, fits it just fine. This particular gentleman that owns this car has a huge collection of vintage ice chests. So they don't have to be perfect to have fun on them, with them. All the bright work was done in the back here. These back tailgates, I know we put new cables in it, but they're really hard to get adjusted right. We'll actually have a little clip here where he operates the back lift for you. It's kind of tricky. So there's got nicks and chips along the edge here. Again, I'm not making excuses for it. This car's just got good character. That's what I call it anyway. See how straight the body is. Again, you could call it for some shrinkage in the paint over the years. You can see a little bit of shrinkage in here. And you probably won't see it with a video camera, but its shine is good. A little bit of shrinkage in here. We've been up underneath these quarters, both sides and up front, and there is absolutely no rust. That the headlight buckets are up in either quarter. I believe all the tin on this car is original. We think you get the idea. That's what I always say. Again, the interior, very nice and clean. Period style, seat belts in the front. Hot rod period style. Back seat again. Courtesy light again on that side. You can see it from this side. They're working with the door jamb lights. Has all new painless wiring system in it. We'll cover that under the hood with you too. We'll fire it up here after we talk about it a little bit. Again, the old school pinstriping on the dash there. Chrome kick plates, chrome glove box, chrome ashtray. A lot of the stuff they would have done back in the mid to late 80s when it comes to one of these kind of cars. He's updated the instrument cluster. This is a cluster. It's a cluster. I believe that's a classic instruments cluster. The only thing that's not working is the fuel gauge. We're going to go ahead and fire it up. Car runs great, no overheat issues. It has upgraded vintage air conditioning in it. It worked through those controls there. You can see the center vent here, center vents outboard here and here. Temp gauge works just fine. Bolts are charging. Oil pressure is probably about 60 pounds. It says 75.3 miles on the odometer since the gauge cluster was installed. Tach's working. Again, the fuel gauge is in op. Could be just a ground issue. When they did the tank, they put new sender and stuff in it, but they didn't. It didn't work, or it isn't working. VIN numbers where it's supposed to be. Not an issue there. Get out and let you hear it run here. Gonna have to shut the door, or the park service will take my door off. Anyway, we're thinking you get the idea. It's about time we invite you in, tell you to hang on to the end of the video. We do get it up on a lift for you here. Have a great day. All right, as promised, we get you underneath the hood here. Very nice, like I talked about, period hot rod. Nicely done. Very much preserved exactly like it was restored back in 86, basically is when it was done. The engine compartment's got a 327 Chevy in it. It's got double hump heads or camel hump heads, so 4-barrel Fuelie style heads. It's all the block and everything when it was done was finished in the color of the body color itself. So the engine block and oil pan is everything root beer brown on it. Firewalls, everything was redone here when they did it. They even carried out the pinstriping on the exterior of the car on the bottom side of the hood here. Couple of things the owner's done since he purchased it. When he purchased it, it originally had a 4-barrel on it, so he's done the dual quad with the offie intake on it. And just within the last 30 days or so, he has actually went through the carburetors professionally, had a professional shop here do it in Lake Havasu. So the carburetor's been gone through, it's dialed in, tuned up, ready to rock, runs good. It has updated disc brakes on the front, and it has a dual reservoir master cylinder, so a modernized safe master cylinder. You'll see all the wiring's new here. This particular owner put an all new painless harness in it several years ago, so it's all new painless modern harness with heat shrink connections, that kind of thing. Early Corvette style fin valve covers, no power steering, but it steers just fine. The coil's packed over there in the back. The distributor is a factory with points, so it's easy to adjust and tune. No worry about electronics going bad on you. Again, along the period style, they like to plate a lot of the things. You'll see, you know, inside the car you saw the glove box, I talked about that. These inner aprons are chrome plated. The owner's updated when he did the air conditioning. He added air conditioning to it. It's got a Be Cool style aluminum radiator, huge aluminum radiator, no overheat issues. The AC condenser up front there. I like the way they ran the lines in the apron and out the fender and then back over to the core there. So they've removed that heater box over there. The battery's been relocated to the trunk area or the spare tire well area. Again, when they did the painless wiring. Early style hooker style headers, long tube factory suspension, again disc brakes on the front. A little bit of battery acid corrosion there. That's prior to moving the battery to the trunk, I assume. AC receiver dryers there. Turbo 350 automatic transmission, Ford factory GM V8 rear differential. Anyway, you'll see the root beer brown on the block. There you go. Hang on to the end of the video. We definitely get it up on a lift for you like we talked about. Have a great day. Okay, I'm going to have the owner open up the back end of it so he can show you. He has to do new cables, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and open it. But they are really hard to get adjusted, folks, so I'm going to open up the back deck lid there. Let me share the back end of it with you here and then I'll have him put it down. It has underneath here, he's relocated the battery to the trunk when they did the painless harness system in it. We'll have undercarriage photos and video like we talked about. And shortly you're up next on that. All right, he's going to show you how the tailgate works, how he opens and shuts it. Okay, he brings the gate in a ways there, just kind of rests it, releases the latch, much like Corvette hood style latches is what those are. He brings those together right there, drops it, and it shuts. All right, as promised during the walk around, we have it up here on the lift for you. We're going to show you the undercarriage. This is a rock solid car. Definitely could easily take this car to the next level. Known Nevada history. He purchased it from Nevada in 1987. I know I'm probably repeating myself because I talked about that during the walk around, but we've spent some time under the undercarriage here. We're going to share what we see. Rock solid up in the quarters here. The car's been sitting for about 15 years. He's got it running and driving now, drove it over to the shop here, but all solid. Get up in the back here, the quarters are very nice, the wheel wells are nice. Recently put a new fuel tank in it because of its sitting time, so it has a new fuel tank. The carburetors have been gone through. This is a factory rear differential. These are factory rear leaf springs on it. So very much a driver, not making excuses. Driver, this is the kind of car you can definitely drive and, like I said, enjoy or take it to the next level. You can enjoy this car just the way it is. Glass back exhaust, crossover. We'll get up under the rockers here and share with you. But the rockers, you'll see all the floor braces. Are just nice. Typically these are packed with mud. The inner rockers, the outer rockers appear to be original. This one's got a little tiny spot where it collected a mud, but really nothing worth talking about. Again, floor braces here. We'll do it from the outside too. Headers, long tube headers, turbo 350 automatic transmission. Still has the old Power Glide trans mounts if you want to take this car back to a stock. It's hard to find Nomads, but it's even harder to find Nevada, Arizona body like this that's just rock solid. Over here on the driver's side, same thing. You'll see the floor braces, body braces to chassis are very nice. Hoping you can hear me with my fan on here in the shop. It's pretty hot this morning. Up into there. Let me go back over to the other side one more time for you and show you guys. Nice. Little spot on that one. If you were this old, you'd have a little spot too. Factory suspension, non-power steering car, factory style starter. The oil pan's actually the body color of the car, so somebody at one time spent a lot of money on a restoration of this car. Up into the fenders here. Disc brake upgrade on the front, so pretty much all stock except for the disc brake upgrade. Has a new fuel pump on it, again due to sitting in the carburetors that been gone through. Got our camera light on. If you hung around to this part of the video, you're serious about the car. The headlight buckets are nice and the backside, so dry climate car. We're gonna go to the outside of the rockers here. You'll see these are original rockers on the car. Get my camera right. There's a little bit of a spot, couple little blisters here, but it's not because it's rusty or crazy. And there's a couple little blisters right here. I'll go to the inside of it, but overall it's very solid car. Over to the other side. Again, original rockers. Anyway, we're thinking you get the idea. We'll do one more little tour backwards. It's a factory V8 rear differential here, style differential. There you go. Go to spudsgarage.com. Give me a call. Have a great day.